Beatboxing has been recognized as one of the fifth elements of hip-hop, and the most known ones are breakdancing, MCing, rapping, DJing and stuff like that. But beatboxing has been developed in the early 80s and then slowly graduated to the point where it has been recognized as an art form in the late 80s, and it's been growing to this day. I started beatboxing in April 2009, where I just watched a video on YouTube and I just thought, you know what, this might be one of those things that I could get better at and kind of get into this theme of something different, because even though it's been out there for so many years, it's only been recognized in the early 2000s. The reason why I love beatboxing, probably the main reason why, is because it can be recognized not just as a musical art, but it can be used as a language. You can come from France and you can come from England and you don't have to speak the same language, but you can beatbox, and that's what fascinates me the most, is that you can communicate with other people around the world without having to talk to them. Since I started beatboxing, there have been many people that I looked up to, but the main person who's made who brought the most amount of inspiration into me was definitely Reeps One, who's a double UK beatbox champion, and he's just a person you can't not look up to, because he's just so creative, and the amount of feedback that he gives the beatbox community back is just insane. I mean, he was one of the few people who brought the idea of using it as a global language. You can talk to anyone, really. You can go to any country and then be like, you know, instead of going like you're going, and then, you know, you'll just understand each other, because the other person will be, you know, throwing something back and like, and then you can just talk to each other without having to have the main source of language. From my personal experience, I think a lot of people assume that beatboxing is just another party trick, or one of those things that you do once and, you know, it just goes away. But I think what people need to realize, or I would like people to know a bit more about beatboxing, is that it's not just one of those things that, you know, you do in front of your friends, but it can actually benefit you in many more ways. It's like sports basically, but anyone can do it, because everyone has a mouth and everyone has, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day to spend beatboxing at home. One of the things I've noticed beatboxers try to do is not just stay on stage and stay as a community in beatbox championships and stuff, but they also try to make money from beatboxing and doing tours around the countries and maybe workshops, training with people, or making tutorials, or even a YouTube career. There are a lot of beatboxers who took that path, but I think most of it, because it's a street art, it comes from hip hop, and breakdancing has been a street dance. MCing, DJing, it's all about public, and I think busking has been one of the the biggest influences on beatboxers lately. I guess that's just one way to make money. It's turning this hobby into a daily job, and perhaps if you are successful, it's gonna bring some income at the end of the day. When it comes to passion in beatboxing, I take it very personally, because I really like to portray this scene to the public and the people around me, like friends and family. So what I do is not just beatbox, because just beatboxing as a hobby is one thing, but then bringing the scene into the public is another, and I think commercializing the subject would be a great cause for the community.